Hey guys, welcome to the IS Guide. See, in this video we will be discussing day 3 and part 3 video. Okay, day 3 of part 3, and this is sociology online course, 75 days course for civil service exam 2018. And let's see what we'll be discussing in this part 3. Okay, see the third concept, that is the interaction perspective, will be discussing in this part 3. Okay, see, actually this interaction perspective, actually this perspective is quite different when compared to the previous two perspective. Okay, see, actually functionalist perspective and conflict perspective are the previous two perspective. Actually they analyze the society in macro level. Okay, both functionalist as well as conflict, they analyze the society in the macro level, whereas the interactions perspective, it analyzes the society at the micro level. Okay, that is what the difference between this perspective and previous two perspective. Micro level analysis of the society, the interaction perspective does. Okay, actually these approaches attempt to explain society wide pattern of behavior. I'll repeat, this approach, interaction perspective approach, attempts to explain the society wide pattern of behaviors. Okay, and the interaction perspective analyzes the society at the micro level, as said earlier. Okay, because the contemporary sociologists they are more interested to understand the facts like micro level facts. Okay, like two friends who are actually talking very casually, they analyze what kind of conversation they are doing. Okay, this type of analysis is very interested for today's sociologist. I'll repeat the point again. The interaction perspective analyzes the society at the micro level, and today's, that is contemporary societies, sociologists are more interested to understand the interaction which is taking place between two close friends who are sitting in a garden and talking, for an example. Okay, that kind of micro analysis, the sociologist is interested in interaction perspective. Okay, they want to know what kind of conversation is going on between father and son. They want to know what kind of interaction is going on between student and teacher. They want to know what kind of interaction is going on between two friends. Okay, that kind of minor details they are going to actually analyze. That is what is known as interaction perspective. Okay, and this perspective generalizes about the fundamentals or everyday forms of social interaction. Okay, the point here to be noted is generalizes. It is not a specialist kind of thing, it only generalizes the everyday form of social interaction. Okay, the interaction perspective observes the conversation between different peoples or different individuals in generalized way. Okay, what kind of interaction they are doing today, what kind of interaction they are doing tomorrow. Okay, all, each and everything they will not note down. Okay, they will just do certain kind of experimentation, taking into account, let's say 6 months. Okay, in 6 months different parts of the their country, they will just travel, and thus they will do experimentation, and in that experimentation generally they will actually report, like a kind of report they will prepare after experimentation of 6 months at different places, observing different individuals. Okay, and one general perspective they will write in this report. Okay, not specific. Okay, what kind of interaction is going on between individuals, in a general manner they will write the report. Okay, that is known as generalistic perspective, not specific. Okay, and this perspective was influenced by Max Weber. Okay, this perspective was influenced by Max Weber. Max Weber is the person who have worked extensively when it comes to interaction perspective. Okay, and also not only Max Weber, another sociologist is there, very famous sociologist, but after Max Weber he has contributed, and his name is Herbert Mead, George Herbert Mead. I'll write his name here, George Herbert Mead. Okay, this is the person who have actually contributed to the interaction perspective after Max Weber. Okay, and the next point is This perspective, that is interactions perspective, tries to understand how people create and interpret the situation they experience on daily life. Okay, this perspective, it actually tries to understand what peoples are actually talking, how they are creating meaning. Okay, see, you tell me how the meaning is, who will give the meaning for daily activities? Definitely people will the meaning for daily activities. Daily we will observe the people, what kind of interactions they are doing. Okay, like that we are going to behave. That is known as how people create and interpret the situation by experience. For example, if we see certain kind of snakes, okay, if we see some snake, no, everybody is actually, definitely everybody gets anxious. Okay, everybody will get fear when they see snake suddenly on a road, let's say example. Okay, definitely people will run and they will call for help. Snake is there, come on, help me. Okay, see, how do you know that you have to run and you have to call for help? Do you know that people will come and help you? Definitely you know that, because it is socially constructed. Snake means, you know that everybody has if a kind of fear when it comes to snake. How come you know that everybody has fear? It is due to the daily experiences. Okay, that is what I am telling here. People create and interpret the situations by their experience on daily basis. Okay, that is what is more interested in interactionist perspective. Okay, see, if there is any kind of quarrel going on, why do you call police? Okay, if certain kind of unrest is going on in city, why do people ring up to the police, and why they call? Okay, they know that. Okay, they have learned whenever certain kind of situation which is not good for the society is going on, definitely we have to inform the police. This is socially constructed. Nobody will teach in university, or nobody will teach in your schools or colleges. Okay, it is by your own experience you will be getting to know. That is known as interpreting daily experiences. Okay, it is socially constructed. Okay, society is ultimately created, ultimately maintained and changed by social interaction of its member. I'll repeat again. Society is ultimately created, ultimately maintained, as well as ultimately changed by the social interaction of its member. Okay, see, we cannot tell that what is the meaning for certain situations in society today, and the same meaning will be there 100 years afterwards. We cannot tell like that, because the meaning what people give for daily experiences, it changes over a course of time. Okay, that's the reason the meaning what the peoples give for the social phenomena is actually a socially constructed by people. Okay, people changes. Okay, new peoples will come. Okay, so whenever there is a huge transformation in the people's thinking, the socially constructed meaning also changes. Okay, for example, I will give this puberty, attending puberty of girls. No, it was considered some kind of they were not comfortable actually in village sites, but today they will not actually look as if they were looking in traditional India. Okay, today it's a matter of biology. Okay, attaining puberty of a girl is a matter of biology. Okay, so how this kind of change happened means through the constant interaction of the members only. This kind of changes will happen. People will interact, what is right, what is wrong, how we have to think. Over a course of time the meaning changes. Okay, that's what we are trying to say here. And the interaction perspective has many approaches actually. Okay, there are certain 4 approaches in interaction perspective, within interaction perspective. Okay, the first approach is known as dramaturgical approach. See, dramaturgical approach, no, it was put forward by Goffman in the year 1959. Goffman was the person who has put this dramaturgical approach. Okay, see, the word itself tells this approach. It is nothing but the Goffman sees social life as a form of theater. Okay, he sees a social life as a form of theater in which people play different roles and stage manage their life. Okay, and the impression they create on others, that is known as dramaturgical approach. That means in dramaturgical approach, social life is a form of theater. Social life is a form of theater and peoples are actors in it. Okay, peoples or individuals are actors in it who will perform their activity. They will perform their roles. Okay, and they manage their lives according to their roles and they give a certain kind of impression on others. That is what is known as dramaturgical, a kind of theater where people participate and they do certain kind of roles through which they manage their life and create impression on others. Example, a civil servant. What civil servant will do? Definitely civil servant, no, civil servant is also like a actor. Okay, he considers himself as a agent of bureaucracy. And what roles he performs? District collector role. Okay, and through district collector role definitely he will manage his life. People know what is the meaning of why district collector is there. Okay, like that he is managing his life and he is creating a certain kind of impression on others through his dynamic behavior. Okay, through his elegant, dynamic and good behaviors. That is what the role of a DC, for an example, I have taken. If you take a role of an actor, film actor, different role will be there. It depends on an individual how he acts in the society, how he manages himself in the society, and how he creates an impression on others regarding himself. Image building, what we will be calling it as. All these are included in dramaturgical approach. Life is a kind of theater it talks about. Okay, then let's move on to the next approach, that is known as exchange approach. See, exchange approach was put forward by George Homans in the year 1961. George Homans is the person who has put this exchange approach. These approaches attempt to explain just a minute guys, just a minute. Okay, exchange approach. See, actually here George Homans actually stresses on the way people control another's behavior. That is known as exchange. Controlling another's behavior is known as exchange approach. How do people control another behavior? Definitely by exchanging various forms of rewards and punishment for approved as well as disapproved behavior. That is what the exchange approach. I'll repeat again. Exchange approach was put forward by George Homans. He stresses on the way people control another person behavior by exchanging various forms of rewards and punishments for approved or disapproved behavior. Okay, I'll explain it again. See, the actual meaning of this one is people actually control the behavior of another person towards him. How? Definitely in our society, there is actually a kind of rewards will be there for good activities, and there will be a kind of punishment will be there for bad activities. Rewards are known as approved behaviors. Okay, and punishments are known as disapproved behaviors. Okay, see, definitely in our society exchange mechanism is very well planned. See, who are rewarded? Definitely the person who is hard working. If we take a student, definitely a person who is very actually hard working, who is striving hard to make up his career, definitely he will be rewarded. Definitely he will be rewarded by the people. People will tell that, okay, nice man, he is actually striving hard to excel in his career. People will reward actually for them. And if some other person, instead of who is a student, if some other person, instead of putting hard work on his career, if he is actually engaged in certain kind of disapproved behavior like teasing girls, for an example, who will actually, nobody will appreciate teasing girls. Okay, it will call for punishment from the police. Okay, that is known as the disapproved behavior for which punishment will be there in our society by police. Okay, just an example I have given to understand this exchange approach. Okay, again I will repeat. See, exchange approach, people will give rewards and punishment for approved and disapproved behaviors respectively. Example, If a person is striving hard to excel in his life, definitely he will be rewarded by the society as well as by the institutions. Whereas if a person is indulging in certain kind of criminal activities, definitely that is a disapproved behavior, and society will not actually encourage this kind of disapproved behavior, and society actually directs him for punishment from police. That is known as the disapproved behavior. Okay, like this peoples actually control, like this the peoples are actually controlling. This is how the state government, or this is how the government controls the people. There are rewards and there are punishments for activities what people do. That's how the society is maintaining its equilibrium. Okay, which is very healthy for the smooth functioning of the society. Okay, exchange approach. And the third approach is known as ethno methodological approach. Very important approach, ethno methodological approach. This approach was put forward by Harold Grafenkel in 1967. Harold Grafenkel. Okay, in the year 1967, ethno methodological approach has been put forward. Okay, actually this kind of approach, what the ethno-methodological approach has been put forward now, is on how people view, how people describe, and how people share the meaning underlying everyday social life and social routine is explained is ethno-methodological approach. I'll repeat again. In this approach, the main focus is on people's view. The main focus is on how people are going to describe a phenomena. The main focus is on how people are sharing the meaning of everyday social life. How people are sharing the meaning of everyday social routine. That is there in ethno-methodological approach. Very important approach. Okay. Now let's move on to the fourth approach, that is known as symbolic interaction approach. Actually, it was actually preferred by Bloomer, but originally developed by George H. Mead. Originally put forward by George H. Mead. Very simple, very important. Okay. See, many times they have asked in exam, explain symbolic interaction approach of Mead. Okay, in detail we will be explaining this in the thinker section also. Symbolic interaction of Mead. Okay, actually according to this approach, no, symbolic interaction of Mead, the interaction, it always take care of interaction that is taking place between peoples through symbols. That is known as symbolic interaction. I'll repeat again. Symbolic interaction is nothing but the interaction which is taking between peoples through symbols. By using symbols, people communicate. That is known as symbolic interaction. Okay, how means through gestures. Definitely through gestures, no, people communicate. How? If you laugh, definitely people know that you are happy, you are welcoming. Okay, if the receptionist gives a smile for you, that indicates that she is welcoming inside. Whenever you go for certain office, receptionist gives smiles, definitely it indicates she is welcoming. Okay, if she is angry, that indicates, if she is not smiling, that indicates that she is not interested in you, like that. Okay, gestures, by gestures. Okay, for example, another example we can give, teacher and student example in schools. Let us take in schools. See, how do teacher silence students when he is misbehaving in the class? Okay, all times the teacher will not actually inform the student. Okay, just raising the eyebrow is a signal for the student that he should keep quiet. Getting? That is known as symbolic interaction. Gestures. Raising the eyebrow by the teacher indicates the students that no, something is going to happen, I have to be keep quiet. Okay, that is the interaction between teacher and student by gestures of eyebrow of teacher, indicating him to keep silent, otherwise some punishment is there. Okay, this kind of example I have given. Okay, that is known as symbolic interaction. Okay, some other examples we can give. Shared rules. Shared rules means if you are not going to pay electric bill, definitely they will not supply electric power for you. That is a shared rule. Okay, and if you're not going to actually link your Aadhaar card, for an example we are taking, okay, recently they are collecting Aadhaar cards to match the mobile numbers. If you are not giving Aadhaar card, they are all shared rules by the people. Okay, some other symbols, definitely written and spoken language are also symbolic interaction. Written language is also symbolic interaction. Email you are sending to your friends, it is also symbolic interaction. You are attaching meaning for the words what is there. Okay, written languages, spoken languages, all are symbolic interactions. Okay, other examples, if you go, stick no bills, you can see on the compound. Okay, on the compound, no, in government offices, on the government offices, some private houses also, they will paste like stick no bills. Stick no bills means don't actually paste any papers here like that. Don't paste posters of film poster and all, don't paste here like that. That is the indication of stick no bills notice. Everybody might have seen that. Okay, these are all actually the symbolic interaction. Okay, that's it. These are the four methods. Then people learn to attach symbolic meaning to these things, and they order their lives on the basis of these meanings. Okay, if they paste stick no bills, the meaning of that one is don't actually come and paste the your posters and all here. Film posters, it may be film posters, it may be advertisement posters, don't paste here. Okay, if if the people see that stick no bills, one day he will go to paste, but stick no bills is there, so he will not paste. Another day he will not go itself there. That means people learn to attach symbolic meaning to these things. Definitely, in traffic also we can see everybody will not go to that traffic office. Okay, that RTO office we will be calling it as. You will not go to RTO office, rules of traffic something. Okay, office, you will not go to RTO office, and you will not actually learn. Okay, that's a procedure, but how many people follow this? Okay, definitely people follow this symbolic. Okay, red light indicates you have to stop in the signal, green light indicates you have to go. Okay, this who taught this? Definitely red light means a symbol of danger light, green light means, green signal means an indication of non-danger signal. Okay, that's the reason signal, they are actually red light and green light. This meaning now people have constructed, people will attach meaning for them. Okay, then this approach focuses on various things like why and what process an individual becomes a beggar, prostitute, or a criminal. Very important. Okay, a wide variety of things this process actually observes. Okay, it will observe why a person becomes beggar. Okay, I don't think you people are also having answer for that one. Okay, see, it's a serious matter. Why a person becomes beggar? Okay, why some become prostitute? Okay, no, actually it's very complex. And why a person becomes criminal? Okay, this kind of things are actually judged by interaction approach. Okay, and also we can give another other examples, like how a person learns to smoke. How a person learns to smoke? Definitely he will think. See, you ask any person who is actually this kind of smokers, you ask smokers, chain smokers or smokers, they will tell, why did you learn smoking? You just ask, he or she will tell, I found it pleasure, that's the reason I learned smoking. Okay, see, initially they will come for this kind of smoking definitely by style. Okay, they will think that some pleasure will be there in this. Okay, who has given the meaning that pleasure will be there in that cigarette? Definitely they might have, by seeing others. Okay, by seeing others, some if he or she is working hard, after hard working they will go and have a smoke and come, and his colleague or somebody will see, oh, what is happening here. When he get tensed, he or she will go and smoke, so he will get pleasure and the tension reduces. Okay, this is an attached meaning where the colleagues learn, and one day the colleague will also go and smoke. He will think that some kind of pleasure I will get. Okay, how this kind of thing is happening? Symbolic interaction, no? Okay, how come this person know that the pleasure is there in this cigarette? Definitely through symbolic interactions. Okay, and some other examples, if we go about symbolic interaction, definitely we can give an example of lecturer and students. Okay, what are the techniques the lecturer is going to apply to keep the class in control? See, it's not easy. See, I was also in a teaching field. Okay, actually for 2 years I was working as an assistant professor in engineering college. See, actually it's not easy to keep the class in control. Okay, we need to apply certain kind of tactics. Okay, then only the students come to control. Okay, actually it's an informal thing. A best example for interaction approach. Okay, how this lecturer is going to control the class. And some other examples, if we take, we can take an example like how a politician is going to control the angry mobs in society. Very important. Okay, see, definitely there will be angry, no angry, these things will be there in society. Okay, if some government scheme the government is launching, definitely many people will disapprove. If they are increasing the rate of this cylinder, okay, the gas cylinder for cooking, no, if they are increasing the rate, certain kind of angry will be there by people. Okay, if they are increasing the water bill, angry. If they are increasing certain other things, angry. If they are introducing GST, angry. Okay, how the politician is going to control this? So definitely politician is going to control this one, not bureaucracy. That is the job of politicians, to control the mobs. Okay, to control the anger what is there in the society. That is the meaning of representative. Okay, he is a people representative. Okay. That is the tactics how the politician is going to control the angry of the mobs. Definitely he will control, but how? Definitely through the interactionist perspective. Okay, these are all the examples of interactionist perspective. Okay, and let's see what is the critics for this one. See, actually critic is the interaction perspective neglects larger social institutions and social processes which have powerful effects on social interaction and on personal experience. Okay, as I have told earlier, the interaction perspective always focuses on micro level, not on macro level. Okay, that is the limitation of this perspective. It will neglect the larger social institutions. That means it will neglect the macro social institutions and always concentrate on the micro level. Okay, that's it guys. This was the end of part 3, and let's meet in part 4. Okay, that's it. Bye.